People have been worried about Park Bom's health for quite some time, but that concern hit a fever pitch when she revealed she would be suing YG Entertainment and Young Hyun-suk for an outrageous sum. But how real is this lawsuit, and why is she only taking action now? The first signs that something might be wrong appeared on August 6th, when D-Nation Entertainment announced that Bom would not be participating in 2NE1's future schedules. The agency explained that, based on advice from her medical team, she needed sufficient rest and stability before resuming activities. The news was shared on D-Nation's social media accounts, expressing regret over the decision, especially given fans' excitement for the group's reunion. According to the agency, the choice came after long discussions, and while it was difficult, it was necessary for Bom's well-being. Fans reacted with a mix of concern and understanding. Some pointed out that her last performances on 2NE1's shows had shown how physically exhausting performing had become for her, noting that by the middle of the shows, she often looked ready to step off stage. Many felt that it made sense to plan schedules around her recovery, allowing her to join only when she was truly able. Others were relieved that Bom was finally getting the care and support she needed, emphasizing that her health should always come first. At the same time, some fans expressed worry, recalling moments where she had seemed visibly strained both physically and mentally during past performances. On September 25th, fans began noticing another unusual sign. Bom had unfollowed the other 2NE1 members on Instagram. This action immediately sparked a wave of speculation about what might be happening behind the scenes. Some people suggested that it wasn't personal at all and that she had simply been cleaning up her account, noting that she had also unfollowed members of Big Bang and even her fan site's accounts. Others cautioned against reading too much into Instagram follows and unfollows, pointing out that social media activity doesn't necessarily reflect the real relationships between the members. Despite the differing opinions, the move added another layer of uncertainty for fans who were already worried about Bom's well-being and the challenges she had been facing with her health and her career. Others had other theories, writing, "She feels sad seeing them enjoy singing and dancing and attending events, and wanted a break from seeing it, but didn't know there's a mute button." Some fans pointed fingers at D-Nation, suggesting that the agency might have been behind Bom's unusual social media activity. However, the most common theory was that Bom herself was struggling mentally, and that her recent actions, like unfollowing her group members, were a reflection of challenges that might not make sense to outsiders. Many people felt sympathy for her, understanding that these behaviors could be tied to the pressure she had been facing. The theory gained more traction when fans noticed that Bom had also unfollowed D-Nation itself, along with Scotty, the company's CEO, and her manager, and started following Young Hyun-suk. Her manager, in turn, had deleted posts featuring her from his page. These actions led some people to speculate, at least briefly, that Bom might have left D-Nation and returned to YG Entertainment. Even so, many cautioned against reading too much into her Instagram activity. They reminded fans that follows and unfollows on social media don't necessarily reflect real-life relationships with her former agency, her fellow 2NE1 members, or Young Hyun-suk, and that assumptions based solely on online behavior could be misleading. This showed best on October 22nd when Bom made a shocking post on her personal Instagram account. She shared a photo of a paper in which she accused Yang Hyun-suk of fraud and embezzlement. According to the document, Bom had not received the income she was owed for a long period, including earnings from album sales, live performances, television broadcasts, advertisements, and various other entertainment activities, with the conclusion being, "We request a thorough investigation and strict punishment for the accused's illegal actions." The post immediately caught attention, as accusations against YG Entertainment and its founder are always highly scrutinized by fans and the public. Although many people felt that YG and Young Hyun-suk had long been overdue for criticism, certain details in Bom's post raised immediate questions. One of the first things people noticed was that the paper included a phone number that was left completely visible. This sparked concern over whether Bom had accidentally revealed her personal number or if it was actually her lawyer's. Some even speculated that the number could have been random or unrelated entirely. The most striking and concerning detail, however, was the lawsuit amount stated in the paper, over 700 quintillion US, a figure that is clearly impossible to obtain. The alleged lawsuit also described how YG had not provided a breakdown of the payments and had not made any fair settlement, which supposedly caused Bom serious financial loss and emotional distress. Although Bom deleted the post not long after sharing it, the content had already ignited widespread discussion online. In fact, it received so much attention that she ended up reposting it. Fans and observers were divided. Some criticized the unusual details and questioned the legitimacy of the claims, while others praised Bom for finally speaking out against Young Hyun-suk, who has long been infamous for his controversial treatment of artists under his management. The incident quickly became a hot topic across social media platforms, with discussions ranging from support for Bom to debates over the outrageous lawsuit amount and the unusual nature of the post itself. One Reddit user commented, "Now that explains so much. She was basically working for free this entire entire time and said enough is enough. 21 went through some of the harshest treatment under YG Entertainment, facing constant criticism and a lack of support from the company. Young Hyun-suk frequently insulted the members, calling them ugly and putting them down in general. Their potential was often ignored, and opportunities for growth were scarce. Even the few chances they managed to get were often taken away or sabotaged by the company, leaving the group frustrated and restricted. Bom, in particular, endured a lot during her time at YG, especially with how the company handled her 2014 scandal. For those unfamiliar, in 2014, Park Bom became the center of controversy after a report by the Korean newspaper Ilbo revealed that she had allegedly smuggled amphetamines into South Korea from the United States. The incident dated back to October 2012, when officials at Incheon International Airport seized 82 amphetamine pills sent to Bom via FedEx. During police questioning, Bom admitted to purchasing the medicine, but the case was eventually closed and she was released without any charges. Even after the legal matter was resolved, the way YG managed the situation added to her struggles, amplifying the stress and scrutiny she faced as a public figure and leaving fans and observers aware of the difficult environment the members of 21 had to endure under the company. At the time, Young Hyun-suk tried to address the controversy in a blog post, claiming that the medication Bom had received was prescribed to her while she was growing up in the US to help her cope with mental shock and grief after losing a close friend. He explained that Bom had taken the medication for years and wasn't aware that it was banned from being imported into Korea. Because her schedule was so hectic, Bom couldn't travel back to the US to refill her prescription, so her mother and grandmother sent the medication to her. Although Bom was investigated and all charges against her were cleared again in 2014, the misreporting in the media continued. On the surface, it looked like Young Hyun-suk had tried to clarify her situation, but in reality, the company did very little to shield her from the harsh claims and headlines labeling her as an addict or a criminal. Instead of defending her, the company essentially left her exposed, letting public perception and media narratives do the damage. Given how poorly she was treated, it wasn't surprising that Bom later claimed she had never been properly paid by YG Entertainment, reflecting the ongoing pattern of neglect and mistreatment she experienced under the company's management. Even so, several aspects of Bom's post didn't quite add up. One of the most noticeable issues was the way the document was written, as it looked unprofessional and lacked the polish you would expect from an official legal statement. Many observers immediately questioned its authenticity, noting that it didn't appear to come from a lawyer or law firm, which made some people skeptical about the claims despite the serious nature of the accusations. As one commenter wrote, "It looks like docu pretending to be serious, but if you read details from a professional perspective, it's ridiculously written. I really doubt it's the work of a lawyer. She probably copied some legal documents from the internet. Some people even suggested that the document might have been generated by AI, possibly using ChatGPT, which raised even more doubts about its authenticity. Others speculated that Bom could have been taken advantage of by a lawyer, though many hoped that wasn't the case." Beyond the questions about the document itself, the biggest concern for fans has been Bom's well-being. Her recent behavior has led many to worry that she's been struggling mentally. For instance, she recently posted about actor Lee Min-ho in a way that made it seem like they were in a relationship, as she literally called him her husband, sparking dating rumors that Lee Min-ho later denied. This incident, combined with the controversy over the alleged contract and unpaid earnings, has amplified worries about her mental health, leaving fans increasingly concerned about the challenges she may be facing behind the scenes. Comments from Korean netizens said things like, "I just hope everything goes well for her. I feel bad for people around Park Bom too. And she needs to go to the hospital. She seems unstable." Worries about Bom intensified when D-Nation Entertainment stepped in and released a statement regarding the alleged lawsuit. Although the statement was brief, its tone raised more concerns than it alleviated, leaving fans anxious and unsure about the situation. It said, "Park Bom is someone that we cannot control either. We are looking into the lawsuit against Yang Hyun-suk. The situation only fueled more suspicion, with many people starting to think that something unusual was going on behind the scenes. Some even suggested that D-Nation Entertainment could be partly responsible for the issues." One fan speculated that while YG may have covered Bom's fees, possibly adjusted due to her absence from activities, D-Nation could be the ones failing to pay her properly or even holding back her payments entirely. However, this remains purely speculation. The clarification came on October 23rd when D-Nation came out with a statement confirming that Bom hadn't filed any complaints and that the financial settlements related to her activities with 21 have already been completed. The agency also added that she would be halting her activities and would be focusing on her health and recovery. As of now, neither Bom nor YG Entertainment have made any statements or posts on the matter.